Because once I don't get my homework done early in the morning, I'll just ask my friends, what's your number one, number two? Let's just copy everything, and I'm not actually learning anything.
We are going to pretend we didn't hear that.
Hey guys, welcome to Teens Discuss, a platform where teenagers come together to discuss trendy issues. Please guys, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. You're going to learn a lot of things because I got to learn a lot of things, and today we're going to be discussing a very controversial topic among students. So let's get right into it.
So, hey everybody, nice to see your faces. My name is Patience. I'm from Nigeria. I'm 17 years old and I'm your host for today. Nice to see your faces. So, I would like you guys to introduce yourself. Let's start with Arman.
Okay, so the funny thing is like I'm pretty bad at introductions, but well, my name is Aman. You can call me Carl if that's difficult for you to pronounce Aman. And I'm from India, from a town called Nagpur, and I've got many hobbies, and studying is like one of them. So don't judge me.
Nice one, nice one. So, let's go to Wendy.
Hi, everybody. My name is Wendy. I'm 16 and I'm from Nairobi, Kenya. I also have a lot of hobbies and I am a bit of a nerd. My friends describe me as a bit of a nerd, so don't be a bit too intimidated.
Why are you running?
I hope. Yeah.
I can totally understand. I guess I'm
I
not
can
as well, it's just
relate.
that yeah, I can relate as well. So, let's go to Darling.
Hello everyone, I'm Darlene. I'm 17 and I'm from Nigeria. And I'm a freelance writer on web novel. So like I basically write every day. So that's like my job and that's all you need to.
Yeah,
Nice to
Darling,
meet you all.
nice to meet you. I've read some of your books, and I'm telling you, this girl is amazing at writing. Your
Thank
imagination
you a
is
lot,
just vast.
Patience. Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's go to Isra.
So hey guys, I'm Isra Darzier. I'm 17. I'm sure you probably all know me, but let me give it a few introduction. I like research. I'm very interested in research, and just like Araman, I really like studying for some reason. Reading also. So this is like a brief introduction. Hope it's okay.
It's totally fine, totally fine. Nice to meet you guys, and I'm so glad that you decided to join us here. So, listeners and viewers, today we are going to be talking about a very, very controversial topic among students. I mean, everybody, I think everybody knows about this topic if I talking about it. So, our agenda today is to number one, learn new things and share ideas and opinions and also find solutions together. So, the topic for today is, should homework be banned? You see, this topic is like so controversial, like half of the student population, in fact, more than half, believes that it should be banned. And some of them say it shouldn't, while some say there should be like a balance. So I would like to see what you guys really think. So let's start with that. What is your overall opinion of this matter? Let's start with Israel. What's your overall opinion?
Well, I did discuss this matter with some of my friends before. And as I said before, I think that homework should not be banned, of course, but it should be lessened. Like you should get more, less homework because homework is all about balancing your time. So if you have, you're not procrastinating, you can balance your time. You want to exercise doing something. So homework like helps you do exercises about the things that you study or something like that. And so I think it's very essential since if you are not procrastinating and you have you're balancing your time.
OMG, I totally agree with that. To be very honest, I feel like when we have a balance, it should not be too much. Then I think homework should be considered like normal. So let me see what Armand thinks of this.
Well, personally, what I think is like homework, it kind of depends. It kind of depends on the ability of the student. So if the student is like not much committed or like they are not able to just grasp skills like at once, homework is needed a lot, to be honest, because like there was a point of time when I just couldn't grasp math. And I had a math, like I had an amazing math teacher, so she just guided me with stuff. And what I had to do was just simply just follow her instructions, and I did that. And like that's kind of the reason like why I love math in the first place today. So homework, like I don't think like it should be reduced, but it should be made more customized. Like we don't need to assign it to an entire class, but according to the needs and abilities of the students. So like just to give one context. So I have an English teacher and we just had an English test today. And that carries literally an entire grade of my semester. And I did not study for that, to be very honest. But because of the reason she gave resources and just told us to just read stuff every day, I just relied on that. And this is the reason why, like, I think homework on a customized scale works.
Okay, that's another one. I think we're all agreeing with Israel and Alman on this one. So let's go to Darlene and see what she thinks about this. You're muted.
Okay, so I think homework shouldn't be banned because homework is very, very important for a student. Homework is like schoolwork that is given to a student to do at home. It also like creates this kind of independence. It makes the student independent outside of school. It also gives the student this responsibility to do a specific task outside of school. Homework is very important in that sense. And for instance, now if you're taking a pop quiz or like a surprise test, because back in my school days, like a teacher would just come in and then be like, everyone tear sheet of paper, drop your books. We're having a surprise test.
I never expected it.
And sometimes the homework that is given to us could be the question that would be set for the surprise test or quiz. So, and if you've done the assignments, then it's going to be easier for you to do this test, this surprise test, or even when they ask you a question in class, it's easier for you to answer. So homework is very, very important, and it shouldn't be reduced. Instead, it should be even give. I even think we should add um, more questions or more homework to the person.
Just kidding, just kidding.
It helps build a person. It makes you independent. So when you're having an exam or something, you would be independent and know, okay, I know this stuff very well because I've done it alone, even if I have been supervised with this thing. Homework is very important. That's how I feel. Yes.
Wow. We got another view. You said we should add more. It makes one independent. Oh, I like that. I like that point. And I'll definitely think of that. So, Alman, I can see you raised your hand. So let's see what you want to add before we go to Wendy.
So just
Alman?
some food for thought. Like you're able to hear me, right? Cool. So like just some food for thought. How do you guys perceive homework to be? Because that kind of gives a context as like whether homework in your perspective should be increased or not increased or stuff. So like Wendy, would you like to start?
Yeah, sure. I think I can add on that. I personally think that homework should not be necessarily, before we think about either banning it or not banning it, we should first review it. Because when you think about it, the initial essence of homework was more to benefit the student. But I mean, of late, it seems like it's more to the harm of the student. Like Aman said, sometimes you understand the concept. So when you go home and you have this homework to do, it feels like repetitive almost. But at the same time, when you actually don't understand, the homework is beneficial. Just that, if you don't plan your time that well, you can end up with Friday's homework on Sunday night, you're stressed, you want to cry.
I'm a dumbass. I'm a dumbass.
There's just a lot. So I feel like it should be reviewed onto how much it's given, and also just generally the whole education system. Because if we review how the education system is, then you can see cases where it would be beneficial to give homework and cases where homework may not be necessary. Like for reading, in like languages, for example, it's been proven scientifically that you learn languages easier by interacting with it. So that means like reading and just listening to podcasts and things like that. And especially after the coronavirus pandemic, I don't think we need to, increase the amount of homework, because I feel like we've all learned in one way or another to become independent learners because of online school and just distance learning in general. I think that would be my opinion on homework. Initial thoughts.
Amazing, amazing. I'm seeing different points here and it's just blowing my mind. So before we go to the next question that I saw online, let's welcome Jamil. Welcome and thank you for joining us. We're just talking about our overall opinion on homework. So thank you so much for joining. If you'd like to say anything or introduce yourself.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for having me. I am Jami Obalogun from Nigeria. I'm a creative writer and a content creator, also a personal development strategist. I am passionate about helping individuals to unleashing their potential on real life solution. And I volunteer for an NGO here in Kwara State, in Nigeria, also in another part of Nigeria. So it's an NGO called Preco Academy to help individuals to convert their knowledge and potential into sustainable solutions.
Nice one. Thank you so much, Jamie, for joining us. We are so happy that you're here. So guys, can you hear me properly?
Yes, we can. And like
Okay,
Israel has her hand raised.
Yeah, I was just about to address that. So Israel, do you have anything to say? Please go on.
Yes, well, first, welcome, Jamil. We're very happy to have you with us. The second thing is I want to comment on what she said before me, Wendy. So about the homework, I think it differs from the type of homework you get at your place or school or country or whatever. Like some people have like written homework where you have to solve questions and stuff like that. Some people have homework like you have to do an experiment, you have to do a research, you have to go visit someplace. So I think this kind of homework is also encouraged. You don't also like math is you're gonna have equations to solve, some things like that. But some other things that you study, like for example, geography or something like that, you need to visit some places. You need to do something.
Totally true. That's very true. You need to like visit places and know some things in order to be able to work that out. And I totally agree with Israel. That's such a great point. So okay, Arman, you still have your hand up. Do you have something to say?
Yeah, like I would just like to add to what Sarah said. So like let me just give some context. Like I'm an economics student, so like I study economics at school and we got a project. So I chose climate action and public policy and how those things intersect. And like the homework for me was like basically to survey certain organizations' work and like how certain countries have been impacted by climate action. So like when we have like this kind of homework, the hands-on one, this sort of motivates us because it kind of prepares us for the future, because our future does not lie in just writing tables and stuff, which is what like we do in math, but like we still need it, but that isn't the point. Like we don't need to limit our world to just pen and paper. We can just expand it ahead, and this is what I like. And on second thoughts, the English teacher, which I just mentioned before, like we are used to get we are used to get podcasts for listening to certain stories and stuff. So which is like what I think, like this sort of homework, that the rising dimension of audible homework or auditory homework is something that I'm really liking.
Yeah, that's true. I love audio homework as well. So I can totally relate. I can totally relate with that. So I believe you guys have dropped some amazing points. Like seriously, you guys have so much amazing points. This should be a real debate right now. I want to side wins. So I found some things on the internet and I would like to see your opinion on it. So some say homework should be banned if it does not have anything to do with the studied subjects. Okay, I like to go first on this one. I feel like this one is true because in some scenarios, can you guys hear me?
Yes, yes, we can.
Oh, okay, I'll just go on. So in some scenarios in class, the teacher will be like, 2 plus 2 equals 4, 1 plus 1 equals 2. But in our homework, they'll be like a raised to power 2 plus a x b equals w. Find y. Like what? What's going on?
Wait a damn minute. Wait a damn.
So I feel like that's a really true situation. I feel like homework should be about what you've learned, but I don't know. Do you really think like it should be banned because of that? Do you think that homework should consist of things that we have not learned? So let's start with Darling on that one. You're
Sorry,
muted.
can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I feel that homework should be based on what you've been taught in class. That's basically, you can't give someone homework on what you haven't been taught on. You can't, it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. It should be what you've been taught on. And then it also gives, like I said before, makes the student independent because you've been taught this thing in the class. So when you're given a homework, a take-home assignment, it makes it easier for you because you've been taught on this. It makes it easier for you to answer the questions. It makes it easier for you to answer the question when you're giving it when you're giving an exam or a test. So homework should be based on what you've learned and not what you haven't. But I also feel that you can also do like research, like homework research assignments. It also helps you to be ahead of the class. Research assignments can be also good. Like the teacher says, go ahead and research on this topic and then come and discuss it in class the next day. So that kind of homework is also good. But I also feel like mainly homework should be based on what you've been taught in class. So that's my
I totally agree with Darling. Homework should be based on what we've taught because I'm tired of teachers giving me strange questions that I cannot be able to answer. So let's go to Armor, I think you have something to say.
I think I can go because as one is, I think that
Okay.
basis of homework, I think, comes back to the type of curriculum, your grade level or your class level, and what the aims of the curriculum are. Because, like, I've had the privilege to interact with 3 different curriculums in my educational journey. Each were very different. The first one I was in, we used to do like, they would give us work in small booklets, and then you would just set the amount of goals you wanted to do for that day. And if you didn't finish your goals, then that would end up being your homework. Then, like 2 years ago, I changed to do the Cambridge system for my IGCSEs, and that was totally different. Like our workload was crazy. We had to do a lot of like revision work, a lot of not I would not say cramming, but to some extent it was cramming. And now I'm using Person for my BTech business A levels, and the work is totally different. Like what is expected of us is a lot more independent study, a lot more research, and I appreciate the research and everything, but I still believe that the fact that I had to go through that crazy workload that we had to do, have what you got written assignments you are handing in, like doing math questions you don't understand, just writing nonsense in English. Like I think it was beneficial because it kind of helped me build some sort of a work ethic. But now I'm having to relearn my work ethic and prepare myself for the college mindset where it's more of, you know research work and a lot of independent study, and it's a lot more fun, I'll say. But I do appreciate the where I came from, and I would say, okay, don't change it too much, but reduce the workload. It was a bit too much, in my opinion.
Okay, I love that one. It should not be too much because too much workload. I'm telling you, I'll cry. I'll definitely cry. So,
So you guys can hear me?
yes.
All right. Wait, for a moment, I just went blank. Can I just get to know the question? Like, just to confirm, the question is like getting the homework on the topics which we have discussed in class, right?
Yes.
Okay, so on first thoughts, yes, like, of course, we need to get homework on what are we taught, but like, we don't need to sort of write an essay on Indian American history if we are taught like your European history in school. Like it just doesn't make sense. Or just get a logarithmic problems done if you are just taught quadratic equations in school. So like relevance is important. I completely agree. But transcendence, like basically getting out of the level that is indicated in the books to the level that gets into our minds. This is important. And this is something we don't learn in classrooms. And this is why I think that homework is necessary. So like reflective homework, to be very honest, like getting a read of the textbooks and just inferring like what do we understand from it, or just reading a piece of literature, or just listening to a piece of music and just commenting on it. Like this sort of homework, which makes us reflect and get our own perspectives, and then later discuss it with our friends and our teachers, is something which I kind of agree. Like we should not ban this. But when it comes to giving a logarithmic assignment when you're supposed to give a quadratic equation one, of course, like that would be just like a trump kind of case. So just hands up for that.
Okay, that one is from another perspective. Okay, I'm learning a lot of things right now. I feel like I'm agreeing with Armand on this one. It's true. We need to like get out of our comfort zone and learn some new things. We can't just stay in one zone forever. So we need to learn some new things. So I can see Jamil's hands is up. So please contribute.
Yes, thank you so much, everyone, once again. So, what I just want to say in this perspective, from my own perspective, is that homework, the reason why it's different from classwork is because it is challenging. So, like, whenever we are given an homework, we are assured that we are trying to challenge ourselves as our teacher believes in challenging us. So, whenever we are we're given a work to take home, what you consist mostly is about our effort and energy in assuring that we get everything done. So for a couple of years ago, when I was in secondary school, I think basic 3 years, I was given a strange topic which I've never thought before, but it's something I have in my mind that I should get done. And I started making my research that yes, I must do this, I must get it done. From there, I try to challenge myself, which I never imagined I can get done. But at the end of the day, I get it done. Had I never tried this, and if the teacher challenged me before, able to do this. So from that perspective, that said that like it should be something we should be said to, like that's something really good because we shouldn't be dull, or something we are given shouldn't be where what we have never heard before. So, but over time, it has to be challenging. It has to be challenging because yes, the reason we are so, and from the homework we are given, we're going to discover something new when we are committed on. So it's really amazing to challenge ourselves. If the homework we are given is something you're not familiar with, challenge yourself to get it done. If it's something you are familiar with, still challenge yourself to know it more better. So that's my contribution.
Awesome. Like I would just like to add a point to it. Like people say like experience is the worst teacher and like experience is the best teacher. I don't know what came in my mind. So, but like reflecting on an experience is far more powerful. Like we can discuss, I don't know, great things in classroom, but the ability to reflect is something we get to do in a homework. And I guess we need to change the perspective on how we see homework or how the teachers see homework is.
Yes, Arman, I agree 1,000%. Perspective is everything. It's really everything. I think it's also kind of what to do with just schoolwork or just work in general. Because like if you come into it with the perspective of this is too much work, I can't do it, then you're actually not gonna do it. But if you speak positive and you're like, what, it's a lot of work, but I'll get through it somehow. And you find the work becomes easier, it's not as stressful. Yeah, I think perspective is everything too.
Darlene or Rish or Sarah, like you guys got some inputs?
I would like to participate.
Okay.
I'm sorry, go on.
No, you go.
Okay. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
No issues.
So I think it's related also to the student or the person doing the homework, because it depends on the personality. Like for some reason for me, I do my own researches. I like to experiment things and I like to do stuff on my own. Like for example, if we're talking about animals and stuff and studying them, I'd go to the zoo and visit and ask questions. So for me, if there was like so much homework and I'm still doing these things, that would be too much. Like I wouldn't learn from all that. That would all like be too much. So it also depends on the student. So I think there should be a curriculum each student should have their own. Like the teacher gets to know their students, right? They have their like private time and stuff to meet their students and know their needs and everything's like that. So I think every student should have their own homework depending on their personality, the things that they love to do, and the way that they best learn. So that's my point.
I totally agree. I feel like it's based on the students, and you should get to learn based on, how you're able to like understand. And yeah, I definitely agree. If you want to study about animals, you need to go to the zoo. Yeah. So I love your point. So is there anyone that has anything else to say before I go to the second point that I found online?
Yes, Darlene had to say something.
Okay, okay.
No, it's just an addition. I just feel like homework should be like fun, should be made like in a fun way towards the students. And I feel like you should have like personal relationship with the teacher. So if you like have any questions to ask, it'd be easier for you to like reach the teacher and then ask the teacher to help you out in your areas of like your weaknesses.
Yeah, I totally agree, but I can say my high school, I never had a teacher that I related to because I couldn't even ask a question. Most of us in class can ask a question because they were so strict. So, and I believe that homework, like teachers shouldn't be like that. We should be able to ask questions, and yeah, I think homework should be more fun. So, thank you so much. Yeah, a relaxed learning environment. So the next opinion says homework causes depression. Oh my God. It says homework causes depression. I feel like this one is kind of true because, like I said, I used to cry over homeworks, especially because I don't have my elder siblings at home, so I'll be stuck on a homework. I don't even know who to ask, and I'll be crying. I'll call my friends. Oh my God, do you know the answer to number one? They'll say I don't know. So I'm say, oh my God, and we need to submit the next day.
I'm literally about to fucking kill myself, and I'm not kidding. You better fucking fix this shit right now. I literally am gonna die. I need an ambulance. I can't believe.
So I feel like it can cause depression for some students, but I really want to see what you think about it. So we have Armand as his hands up.
So from my perspective, no. But like from my friend's perspective, cries, like she can't help crying. And I'm like, okay, the teachers are not gonna eat you. Come on. If you extend beyond the deadline, it's okay, but at least don't procrastinate. Like I can understand homework can be scary, but teachers are not monsters.
I mean,
I was playing.
Like eat us up. That's why we think homework is depressed. Like homework causes depression because like that's the only case that's what always happens. But on second thoughts, what I think, like sometimes it's on the teacher's part that they give us too much homework. So again, homework should be customized. So more the teachers know the students, that would be better actually.
I totally agree. Homework should be customized. So Israel is raising up his hands. I mean.
Yes, I wanted to add something. Actually, for me, I don't know about you guys, but in my country, there are some schools that hate children if they don't do their homework.
Do you think that's necessary?
And even like make them stand up the whole lesson and stuff like that. So you're too? Okay. And so I'm not totally intimidated by that because I do my homework, but then there's something related to me when I like have homework and I don't know how to solve an equation and I just spend too long in front of it and it's like half an hour and then an hour and I'm like, no, I cannot solve it, so I leave the whole questions.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
And the whole homework. And that is like, I think that is what is causing me depression, not the idea of teachers being intimidating or.
OMG, I totally agree with Isra. I mean, there are some schools that actually punish you for not doing homework. So I totally agree with Isra. So Jamu.
One more thing, like I would like to add one thing. Like I didn't think about it. That okay, even I don't get punished by teachers, but like in case if I don't get a question, I totally feel screwed up. So like, but it doesn't give me like kind of a depression thing because I know like at like next day I can just ask it to my teachers and stuff. So like it doesn't literally give me a depression, but yeah, like it does make me feel screwed up.
That's totally true. That's totally true. I swear I can relate with you guys so much. Jamu, you have your hands up.
Like I was saying before, the homework does not cause, from my home perspective specifically, I believe that the homework does not cause a depression. It's not something that causes depression because when you're not willing to get something done, that's when you'll be feel like, oh, how will this teacher react to me when I get back to school next day or something like that. But when you have a self-esteem and the ability to believe in what you can do and your potential to get it done, you will feel like I must find a way to get this done. So, but I think the purpose where we are in school is to test our ability, and giving us homework should be something that related to a challenge we should be given to ourselves as a student. Like, yes, I just have to get it done. But when you are not willing to learn more, you are willing to like, it's just a way to give yourself to make yourself depressed when you are not willing to get anything done. But when you are willing to learn more on what you can do or what you believe you can do, that's your self-esteem. So you'll be able to get it done. So it doesn't, like from my home perspective, it's not something that causes depression.
Okay, we just saw it from another angle. It doesn't cause depression. I feel like it's just the thought that, okay, the teacher is going to scold me or hate me. So I think I can agree with that. So, darling, you were saying something before you got caught off, so you can continue.
Okay, so I think personally that homework could cause depression. Okay, so in my high school days, or like there are these like some teachers are like, they look like demons. They're so intimidating, like really, really intimidating.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
And one homework I hate is math homework. I hate maths with like all my passion. I hate it. I hate it so much because I don't even understand anything in like, except I really like focus on like, or except it's like really easy, like a really easy equation or something like that. So homework, like math homework, I hate them so much. And then there are some teachers that are like so intimidating. Like if you don't get this, you'll be punished severely. And I would just feel like when I'm at home and I'm trying to solve like a particular assignment question, I'll just be like in one equation for like I can stay there for like 10 minutes looking at just one equation, just one, because I don't understand anything about it. And so when I go back to school, I would now get punished severely because of not finishing my assignment or not even doing it at all. So I would just sometimes I won't even do the assignment because I don't know anything about it. And these teachers are like, I don't know if they're demons. Math teachers especially, they're like demons to me because they are so intimidating. And if you haven't even done your assignment at all, you get punished. The punishment is what makes me depressed because me thinking like, oh, when I get to school now, this is what's going to happen. When I see what happens to other students or other of my classmates getting punished for this, like what am I going to do? So the stress, it's not even more of the assignment, but the idea of getting punished by this teacher. If the teachers were more likable or more friendly or more approachable, I don't think it could even cause depression. I would be like, okay, if I go to school, this teacher would just sit me down and even help me, even explain. But in Nigeria, math teachers are like demons to me, especially from my high school days. So that's my own perspective. I think homework can cause depression.
I totally agree with you being a Nigerian as well. I'm telling you, these math teachers, I don't know, maybe they were created with the same instrument. I don't even know because there are sometimes that I'll just sit down and the questions will be my front, like, am I going to get this solved? Who should I just call? Like it's I don't know. I think it all comes down to the idea that it's just the fact that you feel scared of what will happen and not because of the homework itself. So I totally agree. So Wendy has her hands up.
For me, I think how I would put it, of course, there's something my mom told me when I was having a bit of challenges at school. She told me, listen, you're always gonna deal with difficult people. So it all comes back down to you. So if what you're there to school to do is to learn, then why are you scared of not having it all figured out? Because if you had it all figured out and you knew everything, you would not be in school. So if you come with a mindset of, okay, if like for example with math, like you may understand, for example, like quadratic equations, but you don't understand differentiation. And that's okay because you can always find different people, even though it's not at school. At least our generation is extremely lucky. We have different options and avenues of figuring out things for ourselves. You can go to the internet, you can ask your friends, you can ask people around before you even get to that teacher who is, for example, like scaring you or intimidating you. So I feel like there's ways around it, even though if you internalize a lot of what is said in like especially like toxic environments, like schools to some extent can be toxic environments. So if you internalize it and it sticks in your head, then yes, it can cause depression. But if you keep thinking about like why am I here? I'm here to learn. So if I'm here to learn, then I'm just gonna learn despite of everything else, what do you call it, like affecting around the school environment, because that's how life is. Life is tough. The streets are dangerous.
Exactly. The streets are dangerous. So what you're saying is that we students should just have the mind that we are here to learn and nothing else. So we should not be scared of the outcome. Just do what you are here to do. You're a student. Thank you so much, Wendy, for that. So the next hand up is from Fumi. You're a newcomer. Thank you for coming. So Fumi, you can just go ahead.
Okay, so thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Of
Hello?
course, we
Okay.
can hear you.
Yes, of course.
So okay, the way I think homework causes depression is not just about one being scared. Maybe when he doesn't know how to do the homework, or maybe when he gets to school and he has not done the homework, maybe the teacher will beat him or so. That's not only the way it can cause depression to me. Okay, let's say they give you an assignment now and you go home and you're trying to find the solution to um the assignment and you cannot find it. That could actually cause depression, like especially if it happens constantly to a particular subject, maybe biology or any other subject, and you anytime I give assignment, you always don't find solution to the assignment. that could cause depression, that like I don't really understand this, like why, something like that. That's the way I see it as well.
Yeah, exactly. If it's happening constantly, you'll be feeling like, am I not meant to know this? You just, that feeling will just come like, I don't think I will ever know this. And, you'll be thinking of the upcoming exams. I totally agree. So, Isra, you have your hands up.
Yes, I wanted to comment on something that Wendy said. So, as she said exactly, I think homework or assignments are preparing us for what's next. Like, college is all about assignments. It's like a place where all you do is assignments. It's like every day. So I think school homeworks are like nothing compared to the college ones. So they are like a preparation phase where you get used to doing homework and sticking to something, like having your own plans and schedule and stuff like that. So it's also like it's preparing you. It's not for the sake of solving the equations or not for the sake of like doing the homework. It's like also preparing you to have your own schedule, to plan your own time and stuff like that.
Yes, I think I'll have to agree with that one. It's preparing us because I was in a talk one day and everyone was just arguing, homework should be banned, homework should not be banned. And one college student just said, "You guys are not even in college yet. What are you even saying?" So I was like, I think it's true. It's kind of like preparing us for college because in college you just have to do it, or else you won't even graduate. So it's preparing us for college. I totally agree with that. So we have the final hands that's up. Jamil, would like to contribute before we go on?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. So yes, what I would just say is that, like, talking about homework, and when we are talking about homework, is something we are assigned to do, and something you are assigned to do, you have to know that it's your responsibility to carry it out. When you are assigned to carry out something out and you are feeling depressed, it means that you lose motivation in getting it done. So it doesn't cause us like something depressed until we find a way that, or the something hidden be that the teacher, like I think Isra or Darling, someone said it earlier, that maybe no matter how you do it, maybe you just lose maybe just a mark, and the teacher is going to deal with you, which is not supposed to be like that. And except when you did not get it done well, the teacher should encourage you. But when we lack of encouragement, it's something we can call depressed. But when we are not willing to take the responsibility of getting it done, it doesn't make what is it called, like depression. So thank you.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think we just take responsibility and it will become much easier for us. And teachers need to change the way they teach actually, because teachers right now they're just there for the money that they're collecting at the end of the week or the month, to just have time with the student to learn, to encourage them. So I think so. Carl, you have your hands up.
Like instead of changing the way of teaching, I would rather say get more involved with the students, or like the students get more involved with the teacher. So like, okay, I understand like the teacher might be just screwed up on the inside, but like if the student themselves are thinking like she's a monster, please, like even if she changes the method of teaching, it just doesn't work. Because like my sister has got a geography teacher and like she's not so good with her English, but she's like she's like a kind individual, and because like the students are able to approach her, she's able to teach them good. And like it doesn't matter that we need to change our methods of teaching, but the way with which students and teachers are basically engaged with, that needs to be, I guess, rethought.
Exactly. I totally agree. It
Let
all
me just
comes down.
add.
Okay, do you have something to add?
Could I just add on to something that Carl said? In business,
Okay,
there's
go
this
on.
thing where they talk about like internal and external motivators. And there's a theory that says that like you can give, for example, let me use it in business terms. You can give an employee all they want, like unlimited benefits, holidays, all that. But if they themselves internally are not motivated to do the work, then you're doing nothing. So I think it also applies in the same way to do like schoolwork and homework, because if you yourself tell yourself like I'm not going to figure this out, I'm not going to do this homework, then you're actually not going to do it. There's nothing anyone is going to show you on the outside that could make you do that homework. So it has to be like collaborative between the teacher and the student. Like you should be able to approach your teacher, and if you feel like you have certain concerns about the way that they are or the way that they would be, it's actually fair to kind of raise the concerns. Like you can say, okay, for example, this, you didn't explain this thing very well. I didn't understand it. Could you explain it a bit better? And if you don't have that avenue, again, there's so many different things you can access on the internet through your peers, through like groups like Teams Discuss. We can actually make a group to share these kind of platforms. That it's not, education doesn't become like a trap. It more becomes like a journey, if that makes sense.
I really like that. Education is not a trap, it's a journey. I love that. I'm going to add it as the bio. That's very amazing. So I don't want to keep any of us waiting much longer, so I'm just going to be a little bit faster with it. So the next one says homework is bad for students' social life. And I feel like this is really true because students, what's for school should be in school, and home should be for home. We should have time to like do extracurricular activities, and we shouldn't be like so focused on solving a particular math problem as a homework and not have time for our other focus, or like our family or our friends. So do you believe that it actually takes away from our social life? um Wendy, do you want to say something?
Yeah. I think I'll just reference what Isra said, that how it's like kind of preparing us for the future. So it's teaching us time balance, because like in high school I think we have a lot of rules, but like the further along you go on your educational journey, the more, like the less, I would say, like in quotes, the less rules you have. Like you have a lot less restriction. Like you're not in your parents' house, so they can't control like what time you sleep or what time you get back, for example. But like either way, you still have to figure it out for yourself, because in college, like you can have an assignment that's due, let's say tomorrow morning, for example. But like today, you could say, okay, I want to go out with my friends. So if you had an entire term to do it and you decide to go out the day before, knowing well you haven't done the assignment, then you're not helping yourself. So I think it's like the student's responsibility to manage their time and figure out what they want to do and how they're going to balance their school life around it.
Yeah, it's all about the balance, because it's basically just preparing you, because once you're an adult, even after college, you're gonna learn how to balance your family life, your work life, your extracurricular life. So I think it's totally teaching us how to balance the workload. So the next answer is from Fuminiyi. Can you just go on? Fuminiyi?
Okay. Yes, the way maybe we don't have much time to do some. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, we can.
Okay. Yeah, I was saying that it actually affects the social life. Like we may not have time to do some particular things. But at the same time, it is necessary to like the homework should try to be balanced, and it should not be too much. Because if it's too much, even for us to read for an exam, when we have homework, it might not even be. It may be too much for us to do at the same time. So we may not be able to prepare for the exam well when we have a lot of homeworks to do. So I feel that should be balanced so that we may have time as well for.
Yeah, that's true. It shouldn't be too much, because we are still at this stage where we are trying to learn. So in my school, actually, when we have a test, maybe next week, we don't have homeworks for like 3 days before the test or the exam. So I believe that we shouldn't try to let it be too much. We are just students, we are just coming up. So the next one is from Carl.
I guess like Jamil should go first. Like it's his hand raised, probably.
Okay, Jam, you can go first.
Okay, thank you, Carl. So what I would just add to this is that when education is still part of our social life, so applying that an assignment in order for us to enhance that doesn't stop our social life, except when it takes much longer or it doesn't relate to the field we are trying to cover up. So taking as an instance, maybe someone has a tailoring and like maybe you just give that kind of person something to get done in his field and is already the person is already learning something related to this at home. So although talking of school and education, I can say that both school and tailoring are both education because education go beyond school. But what I would just add to this as my key point in order not to waste much of our time is that when what we are given is resonated with our daily activity, so it doesn't stop our social life. But when it takes everything we are doing, it actually affected it. So thank you.
Yeah, I totally agree. It should like be related to things that like it's fun and it's part of our social life. Like I've had an homework once, I love actually like going to people and interviewing them. And this English teacher gave us homework to like interview old people to see their views on life. So that homework is very interesting for me, like you see, I'm able to do it like it's very fun for me. So I feel like homework should like be personalized as well and to be very fun for us as well. So let's give it down to Carl. Ahmad?
All right. So what I think like homework. Wait, can you just repeat the question because so that I just give the relevant answer to it.
Okay, does homework actually affect social life?
Okay. So I guess like it should be like it should be sideways, like both ways, because social life, like oh, oops, someone just left. Never mind. Oh yeah, he joined. So like homework kind of affects social life in the sense of commitment because not all students are perfect and some students like they they just sort of value um what should I say, social media over assignments and stuff. Like I have seen people, like I have many of my friends like that, so of course like I can totally understand. But on the other hand, like there are people who also manage social media and who also manage homework, like me. But but I'm not perfect. Like I can screw it up often, and I'm just a student. And like in case if I just face these problems, I know like whom to count upon. So maybe like having a person accountable or just holding the person accountable and knowing whom to contact at the right time, it's the best thing that can happen in these circumstances. And on second thoughts, like the way social media impacts homework is like I'm currently part of Civics Unplugged, and like in case if I just don't get certain question, I can just ask to them, and they can like they're helpful enough to just give an answer to it. And like in case, just in case, if I were not a part of such a community, I don't think like I would have had answers for questions at any time. Like I just can't ask my teacher at let's say 4 a.m.
What kind of foolishness is that?
as soon as I wake up. But maybe like I can ask an American friend of mine because that's just evening for them, right?
Yeah, I agree with you. Can I ask what community is that?
Civics Unplugged, patience, we both are on it.
Oh, okay, I understand now. I totally understand now. Okay, thank you very much. I got lost. I was just thinking of something. Okay, I totally agree with you. Some students actually choose social media over homeworks, even if they're not busy. Because I've seen students that actually prefer to like open up their WhatsApp and Instagram over their homeworks.
If you want to talk to me direct. Don't go through the corner.
So I think sometimes it just comes down to the students individually. So I totally agree with you. And having a community that will help you will make it so much easier. So the next one says, Homework won't make you forget what you learned in school. Let me start with it. Let me. Okay, I think I'll agree with this one. Homework will make you forget because I'm telling you that sometimes that I will forget entirely what they taught us, and I'll just come home. I'll be playing till I just remember. Oh my God, I have homework. Then I'll start opening. Then I start remembering what the teacher was saying in school. So I believe that homework won't actually let us forget what we learned in school. So anybody with any idea to oppose or to agree or to?
I kind of agree to it. Like, kind of. Like at least for the English homeworks or the podcasts I get to listen to, like like they're totally different from what's given in the textbook. So it's normal for me to just lose track of it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. To me,
Social life. Okay. So with the question says homework won't make you forget what I've learned in school, right?
yeah.
Anyway, for you do it well, like by yourself, and you're able to maybe use your textbooks and stuff to do the homework. It will help you to learn more. But for those who maybe put, as I've said earlier with the other question, put maybe other things like social medias above it and don't do the homework, and later they're not trying to find out the answers to the questions of in the homework, and they decide to copy or just trying to find one way. Those kind of people, they'll not be able to actually learn really. So that's what I think.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's definitely true because doing things at the last hour, I'm telling you, you're not even learning anything because you didn't take your time to actually learn it out of like from yourself, from what you know, from resources. But if you're just copying, oh my God, I need to know what's your number one. You are not actually learning anything. So, does anybody have anything else to contribute, or should I go to the next point, which could be our final point?
Maybe Darlene has got something to say, like in case if she would like to.
Okay, Darlene says, what's the question again?
Uh,
Um, Homework won't make us forget what we learned in school.
Homework would what? Sorry.
Homework won't make us forget what we learned in school.
Um, I don't think homework will make you forget you've been taught in school. I think it's just if you it's a responsibility to understand what you've been taught in school. You should be able to like be more focused in class when you're being taught on a particular subject or topic. So homework should I don't think it should make you forget what you've been taught or anything. So that's me.
Yeah, yeah, I think you agree with that.
yeah,
Homework won't make us forget what we
yes.
learned in school. And
Okay.
Jamie, do you want to say something?
Yes, I wanted. Just what I want to add to this is in practice, you will become homework in order to recollect what we have done taught in school. It makes us familiar with what we are learning. So whenever we are trying to get back to what we have been doing and put them into practice as homework is actually doing, so we get better at it and we overcome our challenges towards it. So it's a challenge and it's our responsibility to practice what we learned. And through this, as a student, is when we go back to our homework, an exercise given to us to understand better. So homework, like the question said, won't make us forget what we learned in school, but it's when we keep and stick to it.
True, true. It's only when we keep strict to it, like when we are focused. So I totally agree. I think everyone now agrees that homework won't make us forget. Even Wendy, do you agree?
Yeah, I actually agree because I think the fact that you have to do it by yourself and like research helps you kind of develop like new, like I would say remembrance of a topic. Whereas just sitting in class and listening, the most thing you'll remember is the bird that flew on the side of the window. But like when you're there and you're doing it by yourself, then you're able to be like, yeah, I went to this site, this person explained it like this, I did it like this. Like, it makes it more enjoyable for you and helps you retain the information better.
Yeah, I think we all agree on this one. So this one has a point from us. Okay, Femini, do you still have something to say? I can see your hands.
Okay, so don't worry, you can continue since because of time.
Oh no, you can just go ahead. Don't worry.
Okay, anyway. Okay, so what I just want to say is that I just wanted to buttress what she said. Like, it will make you forget what you have done, especially when you do the homework. Well, like, but there was a anytime I do homework, like, let's say they give me something to do, and I'm having problems, and I do it over and over again. At the end of the day, after I found the solution to that problem, that particular question, I'll be able to solve it again. Like, it will be stuck to me. Like, yes, I was, because I faced problem, like, where I was
I think you're breaking off.
Mhm.
it, and at the end I was able to find solutions. So it actually helps you learn more.
Okay, yeah, I think it all comes down to it won't make us forget. So I think that one has a point from us. So the next question, I already dropped it in the chat. The classroom environment is not suitable for some students. So some prefer to work in a more comfortable environment like home. I don't even know what to say about this one. So does anybody have anything to contribute on this one? I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I think I can contribute. At least in Kenya, we don't have school is not the only place that you can learn. For example, like if you don't like the school environment, they have an option of okay, they're not that many, but they're called like tuition centers where you kind of just like work with the teachers at your own pace to work on your exams and do your work. So if you feel like the school environment is not that good for you, you can do that. Or you can have tutors just come and work with you at home. So I think there's a lot of options for students who feel like they may not be able to cope with the school environment.
Yeah, I totally agree. There's a lot of options for
Totally.
people, and I feel like some people are actually more
Yeah,
comfortable at home. Some people are just shy in school and very active at home, right? Some
yeah,
people are active
yeah.
in school and very shy at home. So, Carl,
There's
do
a,
you have something to say? Or
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So like, yeah. So I would like to kind of add to it. The classroom environment, like it may not be suitable. Like again, giving my sister's example, it's difficult for her to take part in interactions, but when it comes to like the teacher is just teaching and the student is just like taking notes and stuff, that's the best way for her. And like beyond classroom, like just discussing it with a small group of friends is like her way to cope up with learning. So yeah, it kind of depends at the person.
yeah, I think I
Yeah.
can agree
Okay.
with that one. It depends on each individual. Like I said, some people are active in school and very shy at home. So I think I like that one. Darling, you have your hands up. Then we go to Fumini next.
Okay, so
Oh.
for me, I agree with being in a more comfortable environment when you're learning. I feel you should be, if you want to learn, you should be in an environment that's more comfortable with you. Like for me now, like if I want to learn, I'd rather be like the one-on-one, or like have a tutor teach me. I learn more that way rather than in class, because sometimes I can't keep up with what teacher is teaching. So it's more about the students learning capability, because it's not everyone that has the same learning capability. It's also about the environment you're in. So I agree with what you're saying.
I definitely agree with you. The environment also like contributes to this because some people have like a very noisy home, especially if you have tons of siblings and they can stop you whenever you're trying to learn. So they prefer to learn in school, while some people just prefer to learn at home where it's quiet. So I agree with you on that one. Let's go to Fumini and then Jamil.
Okay, so um, for me, please, what's the question again? I've forgotten. Let me check. Okay, classroom environment is not suitable. For me, it depends on the person actually, because for me, I like being in the classroom rather than learning from home or somewhere else. So it depends on the kind of person you are, and also they have advantages on both sides. Like classroom, like for the interaction part, it helps you to understand more, and also maybe if you're at home, you can be able to may not be able to keep up with other people that are learning if you're in class, but if you're at home, you can be able to keep up. So that I think depends on the kind of person you are.
Yeah, I think it all comes down to individual capability. Like Darling says, everybody have their own way of learning. So yeah, I think I'll have to agree with that one. Let's go to Jamil.
Actually, there is power in individual learning, and there is also a power in peer-to-peer learning. When you're able to brainstorm together with something or idea, when you come together with ideas, you'll be able to get things done. But in some area also, when you are alone, you are able to think independently. And all this contributes to our learning. The information we engross from other and the one we are and the idea we are able to bring up by ourselves, all this contributes to our learning and how we are able to achieve. So talking about education in this sense of area, I'll just add that the class is also helpful. The fact that you can be able to relate with people and get a quick response from your colleagues when something wrong is wrong, like so when something is not going right. And when you are alone also, something that might be kind of a disturbance for you. So when you are alone, you have already eradicate that. So being in class is suitable and being alone is exceptional. So thank you.
With Jamil in that in that perspective, because there are some things that you really need a class to be able to learn. You need your friends to be able to learn, and there are some things that really need to be on your own. So I think it just depends on the type of project and the type of work and stuff like that. So this one is the last point before we go to the concluding questions. This one says homework will develop cheating habits in students. Homework will develop cheating habits in students. I think I'll have to agree with this 100%, because once I don't get my homework done early in the morning, I'll just ask my friends, "What's your number one, number two?" Let's just copy everything, and I'm not actually learning anything.
We are going to pretend we didn't hear that.
So when do you have your hands up? Let's see what you think.
I think personally that just the way human nature is, if you want to cheat, you can cheat. Even in the most difficult exam situation, you're gonna cheat if you want to cheat.
Did I lie? Did I lie? Did I fucking lie?
So it kind of comes back down to like your morals and your standing as a student to decide like, okay, I didn't understand this, but I'm not gonna cheat. I'm just gonna go and present my work, whether it's wrong, whether I didn't answer, whatever. I think it comes back down to you as a student and what your morals are.
Exactly. It only comes back to you as an individual. So let's hear from Darling.
I agree with Wendy 100%. It depends on you. Would you rather do this assignment by yourself, or would you rather copy from someone else, or during exam or when you get to school? So it depends on you. What are your stands? So I agree with Wendy.
Exactly. We all agree with Wendy. So Fumini, do you want to go next?
Okay, for me, yeah, I also agree with her. It depends on your standings, like on your morals. And the truth is that, okay, when they give you assignments, even though you say that, okay, maybe the assignments are too much and you can't finish it, and that is why you end up cheating. There are some people who won't do it.
You're breaking off.
I
Is it
realize
only
your
me?
voice is breaking.
Okay, I think you can just type it in the chat. So let's go to Jamil.
So please repeat the question. I didn't get it clearly.
Oh, I said homework promotes cheating habits in students.
Yeah. Yes, I can't say so because we've already covered this already. When you are not willing to learn and when you are not willing to grow, so anything involved in cheating or other bad habits, you find yourself engaging in them. When as a student, when you are able to learn or carry out what you are given, so no matter how difficult it is, you will always find a way to get it done. But when you avoid this, when you are not able to bring this up, probably in order for you not to get beaten by your teacher, you involve in cheating. So it's about commitment. When you are committed to get it done, you eventually get it done. But when you are not committed to get what your teacher gives you done, you will never get it done. And in order to get out of that trap, maybe get beaten by your teacher, you will get involved in cheating. But when you are stay committed to learning, so it will definitely help you.
Yeah, I think I can agree with that. It all comes down to like who you are, if you are committed and if you're not doing it based on the punishment that you're going to get. Because I've seen students like I was a senior in high school and I can see juniors just rushing and copying each other. And at the end of the day, if you ask them, why are you rushing? They won't even say that it's because they don't know it. They'll be like, it's because they're going to punish us. So I think it's the punishment that is in their mind that is making them want to like cheat and stuff like that. So let me just read what Fumini said here. He said, it depends on your morals. I said, even if there is time for you to do the homework, there'll be people who will still cheat. So it depends on you. That's very true. It totally depends on an individual. So I think you've been able. Okay, Carl, just go ahead, please.
I think then like rather than a battle of morals, it should be battle of convenience. Because like cheating is what people find more easier than taking personal efforts. Because humans are born lazy, and coincidentally, I just discussed it today with my sister. So and yeah, like I kind of agree. Like if we just give up to cheating, we'll just end up doing that. But if we just control our desires and stuff, we come up with our own strategies to deal with stuff. And that's the best thing I like about studies, like just holding on as much as you can until you just can't. Like we need to know our limits basically, and like homeworks test our limits quite often.
I totally agree. It's all about the convenience. Like some people find it easier to cheat than to actually take their time to find the answer to the questions. So I think it's all about, the convenience and how you just choose to like work it out yourself. So thank you guys. We've come this far. Now it's only the remaining concluding questions that I would like to ask each one of you individually. So this question is going to be individually. And the question goes like this. If you had the power to change this situation, would you still ban homework? If you had the power to change the situation, would you still ban homework? So let's start with Wendy.
No, I don't think I would ban homework. I would just like reform it to the current student population better. Like, the way different generations have different methods of learning and different things that affect them. So I would tailor make it to the specific generation and even go further than that and make it very student specific, such having a class where some people are struggling with homework and others are doing great in their homework.
Yeah, totally agree. I think I like your stand on that. So let's go next to Darlene. If you had the power to change the situation, would you still ban the homework?
If I have the power to change the situation, I would not ban homework. Like I would just make it easier for the students to to understand or answer the questions. I'll also make it more environmental friendly or more comfortable for the students to answer the question. So I will not ban question by power.
Okay, another one that says they won't ban homework. Okay, what's your take on this?
Um, I think like uh wait, just a second. Like for me, can you just unmute yourself? I'm sorry, mute yourself. All right. So I'm sorry, can you just repeat the question?
Okay, sorry. If you had the power to change the situation, would you still ban homework?
No, like even if I would have a power, like have such a power, I would like give it to a duck instead because like the reason being we shouldn't decide. I'm so sorry, like we shouldn't decide what the students need. Like rather the students should decide like what they kind of need things. Like it's like just imposing things on students. Like instead of asking them, we're just imposing stuff. So like if you mean homework like that, of course, like okay, Doug, give back the powers to me. But if you think like homework is like more of teamwork and stuff, okay, count me in.
Okay, I like that one. Seems everyone is going with they won't ban it, they'll just make it more comfortable and easy. Okay. Okay, let's go to Jamu. What do you think?
Okay. Yes, if I have power to change the situation, will I ban homework? Actually, no. I will not ban it. I will just make it in a other method. There is different way of learning, and we have different kind of learner. So, like some people prefer learning by hearing, some people prefer learning by reading, and some people prefer learning by teaching other people. And all this kind of area is not what is covered up by school. It's because all teachers we are having in school, they are not fit in this area. They only fit in where they also understand. So when I have the power to change the situation, what I will just do to as a answer to this question is to make sure to know the area where every student know how to learn and improve, help them to improve in that area.
Yeah, it's like good. We should try to understand the capacity of some students. I like that. Okay, Fumini, what do you take on this? Fumini, are you there?
Okay, yeah. For me, I think I also agree with not banning homework because it will continue to stop some people, and the only thing we can just do is try to make it convenient for people. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I like that. So everyone is now agreeing that we shouldn't ban homework. So I think I'll just join the crowd then. I think we shouldn't ban homework.
Sorry.
So for the final question, okay, it's not even a question. I just want to ask, what advice would you give to teenagers listening that have troubles with homework? What would you tell them to do to make it easier? Just anything you'd like to tell the teenagers out there. So I'll start with Arman.
Right. So I would say open up, basically. Like you got people around you, and it's not like they have like shut doors. It's like you have made an assumption that they have shut doors, and like it's of course it's messy, but until unless you just don't tell people and just get rid of the judgment, like the ones we assume, I guess things will be difficult. But once you let go of those, I guess we'll get over it.
Exactly. Open up and ask questions if you have any problems. I like that. So let's go to Jamil. What advice would you give to teenagers?
Yes, the moment we stop learning is the moment we stop growing. When we can continue learning, we are ready to grow. So, like the advice I would just give to teenagers is to just stay committed to learning. So, whatever they wanted to learn, there are people around them that can help, but it's about commitment. When they show up to learning, they will definitely get people that's going to help them. So, give it as an homework, indicate the level of your performance, and when you give, like when you can get that done, the winning belongs to you. So your commitment to learning matters a lot. So homework should not be banned, and you should stay committed to learning. Thank
Thank you so much. I really love that quote. Please make sure you drop it to me in our WhatsApp chat. I really need to put it out there. Fumineyi, what's your take on this? What's the advice I love to give teenagers out there?
Okay, for me, I'll just advise them that as Carla said, there are people around you, so you can. For me, you can also, when you're given assignments, also ask help from other people, not for them to do it directly, but like to help you with the homework. And also, just make sure that for the aspect of cheating, just make sure that you do your homework is before it's time. And actually, that's what I'm just going to say.
I totally agree. Try to open up and ask questions and mix with others. So, darling, what's the advice you give to teenagers?
Okay, my advice for teenagers is don't put too much pressure on yourself. I think, just like Carl said, open up to people that you're comfortable with that can assist you in your assignments. Stay focused and forget irrelevant things like social medias and all that, and just get your work done, and then you'll be good to go. That's my advice.
Thank you so much. I really love that. Don't put pressure on yourself. This will just make you like depressed, like we've been talking about. So, Wendy, any advice to teenagers?
I think I would tell teenagers, one, to change their attitude towards homework, because attitude is everything. Two, I would reference Carl again and say, please ask for help. Like that's like the basis of everything. Just make sure you ask for help. And three, I would also reference back to Darlene and say, don't be too hard. Don't be too hard on yourself, because no one has it all figured out. Even the smartest person on earth still has something they don't know. So always have that in mind and be open to learning.
Thank you so much, Wendy. I've learned a lot here. Don't be too hard on yourself and try to open up. My personal advice to teenagers out there is like dedicate your time. Like try to have time for playing and try to have time for working. Like if you're doing assignments and your head is in like your friends playing football, you won't be able to concentrate. So try to like, just dedicate time. Okay, this is the time I want to use to work on my homework. This is the time I want to like spend on extracurricular activities. And that way you can be able to like balance your time. So we have come to the end of this amazing discussion. Oh my God, thank you guys. I've really learned a lot actually, and I feel really happy seeing your
Yeah.
faces and discussing with me. Thank you very much. And I just want to say to every teenagers listening, I hope you learned a lot of things. So thank you guys, and we are going to end now.